When working on cars, we all start with a cheap multimeter. After that, we progress to something more decent, to something that will more than likely last us a lifetime. Products like the Fluke are the gold standard. But no matter how good a Fluke is, we are also needing something to see the signals, to actually see that communication is happening on complex systems. And that is where an oscilloscope is the tool to have. Now, you can go crazy spending thousands of pounds with very advanced oscilloscopes, but the ideal tool is something that you have with you all the time. It's something that you can use no matter what are the exterior conditions. So if it's raining, if it's windy, if it's environment that would otherwise damage an expensive oscilloscope, that will be something that will restrict you from using that tool. And also the best tool is the tool that you have with you and the tool that you are most comfortable with. So rather than spending crazy amounts of money, I decided to test an oscilloscope that is at a bargain price range. This oscilloscope is in between what you're going to pay for this one versus what you're going to pay for the Fluke. I went with a brand that is kind of a new company to the world of tools for measurements. It's this one. I don't even know exactly how to pronounce their name, but their interesting selling point is that a tool like this is able to do what the multimeter is doing, plus gives us the insight with regards to what is happening in the signal world. Let's see what we get in the box. 2-channel signal generator, and also the capability of doing voltage measurements. USB-C cable, BNC, test probe, and another one. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of this company. I would just pronounce the name of the product, 2D15P. Interesting looking device. And also for me, one of the important bits is that I have a tactile interface to control the sampling rate, to control the trigger, because many of those products that are just a tablet are quite finicky when you want to do some of the adjustments with regards to seeing the signals. Now, don't expect this one to be a very advanced tool in the sense that it will not give you the same resolution as a picoscope and other crazy tools. But many times in diagnosis, you just want to make sure that the signal, CAN signal, is present and it's not distorted or it's not having major problems. And only later, if the issue persists, you're gonna take out the picoscope or the more advanced tools. The majority of the times you want to be getting in and out as fast as possible and being able to confidently decide that the module needs changing or not. Big selling point. We have the physical buttons, easy to control. Oscilloscopes are also tools that require you to get used to them. You need to zero them in, and there are some more advanced functions. But today I'm gonna just try to see how user-friendly this one is. Such a beginner mistake. You power it up from the side. I want English. And especially for people that are getting started with these types of tools, you do not want something extremely complicated and finicky, because you will be lost in all of these settings. Now I will go on a side discussion. The quality of a multimeter from Fluke is much better, and it is actually something that you can feel from the first interaction with the product. So the way that the probes from Fluke feel by comparison to the less expensive tools is night and day difference. So if you have the opportunity of investing in some quality tools, something from Fluke, I believe it's an investment that you do and you have it for a lifetime. Back to this little baby, back to this little creature. Things on the back, we can change the way that it is behaving, where it's sitting on the desk. Let's go for some voltage measurements. Let's measure this little battery to see if something is actually showing on the screen. Ooh. Ah. It is possibly showing me the value over there. We look at what we are doing. Minus 0.82. You press on that one and it brings up measurement, and it gives you a bit of a graph. To a certain extent, I would be saying that it gives you more capability than the Fluke. However, we're discussing Ferrari versus Kia. Let's try to measure something else. Let's do a sketchy method of measuring the stuff. Minus, plus, yay, 12. Saying that, let's bring the big boy and just compare the two. 1207, 1207, 1209, 1207 again. So a small difference in value of comparison to the Fluke. This type of device, my plan is to be something that I'm going to use on the low voltage work. Realistically, I invested the money in the Fluke because I'm also facing from time to time high voltage batteries, high voltage systems, and I don't really want to chance my luck with the low cost tools. So it brings you more confidence when you have an oscilloscope made by a reputable company, something that when you are working on 400, 800 volt systems, you know that the tool itself is safe to use, not something sketchy. However, for just signals, I believe that this one will give you a lot of insight, especially when you are trying to diagnose modules that are not communicating. So the overall idea, when you have an ECU that stops working, you're going to check power, ground, and communication to it. If all of these ones are happening and they're okay, that is when you can deem the electronic control unit as being faulty, and you can recommend changing it. If you have a multimeter that doesn't always give you the confidence in the accuracy of those measurements, it becomes quite sketchy when you are giving the verdict of replacing a 2,000, 3,000 pound electronic control unit. So having the variety and seeing the actual signals that are on the communication side is quite useful, and it's something that I believe this little baby will help me along. We are going for something a little bit more modern. We are going to explore if on the standard pins, so I have number 5 for ground, 6 for can high, and 14 for can low. I'm curious to see if this motorcycle has the can available without a crazy gateway. Automatic. Now nothing is happening because the ignition is not on. But as soon as the ignition is on, I'm gonna click auto, and surprise, surprise, we finally have some can. A beautiful can by the looks of it. And if I want to pause it, how do I stop it? I'm gonna stop it by stopping the ignition. Let's grab the second probe. Second probe, similar setup. The ground goes over here and the probe itself goes over there. We're gonna open channel 2, ignition on. And I do believe that I've done something dodgy, or I might not have the correct channel 2, or what's happening. Oh, the reason behind it is channel 2 is on a different measurement scale. Okay, what do we want now to do? We want to set them nicely. So on channel 2 I want also 100. This is showing a clean CAN bus signal. Am I able to pause it? Save. And this is an example of how you can easily use an oscilloscope to see if you're getting communication. on a can high and can low.